Give me a second. No. No. There we go. Those low notes are hard to hit. I bought 2 recorders today.
We got nothing.
And welcome to the Pocky Flocky Shit Show.
So are we cutting everything before that moment? Because I would say that would be a great idea.
No, it's gonna be good. I promise. Is it?
I don't think so.
The audience, we'll let the audience decide. Hunting Shadow, what do you think? Is that worth holding on to or not?
So, I think we need to preface this episode with another question of which episode is this, because Tom deleted the audio track for the episode that was supposed to be episode 8.
It's not my fault. It's Sega's fault. It's Sega's fault. We talked about this on the last episode, which I'm pretty sure will have been the last episode. I wanted to just completely factory reset my computer so I could play PSO2 without it constantly fucking up. And I forgot to back up the last podcast that we recorded.
And I was there when you reformatted. And literally the second after you pressed start or whatever it was, you were like, fuck. That was the first thing you told me after you started your reformat. And it was like half a second after you said you were going to do it.
I've been doing podcasts for over 10 years now. Wait, how long have I been doing podcasts?
You're asking the wrong person, buddy.
When was World of Warcraft out and popular with me?
World of Warcraft is
Cataclysm?
Really old.
I've been podcasting since Cataclysm. And I can't believe I did this. How did I let this happen?
Have you never lost audio files before?
You say that knowing full well how many lost episodes there are of this podcast.
Well, I meant prior to this podcast, because I might somehow be the catalyst to this problem.
I will say this. For the most part, people have held me accountable for my mistakes. Whereas you just laugh at my face. I come to you devastated, like Flocky. I've got terrible news. And you just start laughing at me once I tell you what happened.
It's true, because for those of you that may not know, the podcast is absolute trash until Tom takes it to the editing board and makes it the masterpiece that it is. So until the final cut of every episode, I truly believe that every recording we have is a wash. Like I truly believe that every recording we have is something that is not worthy of an episode, or not worthy of being polished to the extent that it is. And I really don't care until you give me that final cut and I listen to it and I'm just like, oh my god, this is like, you know, like the chef kiss where you kiss the asshole and you're like, mwah.
That's exactly what the chef's kiss is.
I do that every time.
The compliments to the chef is the chef coming out to your table and bending over.
And you kiss him right on the asshole.
Right on the ring piece. Pants down and all. That's not fair. That's not fair. But I will say this, most of our podcast recordings are 2 to 3 hours of rambling that I somehow have to fashion into, like, I guess a narrative is the best way to put it. A flow.
Yeah.
And God, that's why it takes so long to get these out.
That's not the reason.
That's one of the reasons.
That's not the reason.
That's one of the reasons.
It is a very good reason, but that is not
It is
the
a
reason.
I feel like we just need a break from our jobs and our lives and everything we're doing, because it all sounds like it's going bad.
Yeah, this whole coronavirus thing is really affecting the podcast.
And you know what? I think it's time we do something about it.
And what is that?
Well, it's because this, like, Flocky, I understand that you are moving up in your job, and you don't have your boots on the ground as much anymore, and you've been lamenting that some.
Yes, that is true.
And me, I just don't give a shit about anything that's happening around me. So I came up with, and right now, like, it's the coronavirus time. People need more delivery services.
Okay.
So you got, like, whatchamacallit. You got,
Yep, they got the whatchamacallit.
You got the HelloFresh. They got the 5 billion other HelloFresh competitors that I only ever see advertised on Instagram.
This is like that one time you were trying to list things and you gave one example and then you said the other ones. This is the exact same thing. How do you not know something other than HelloFresh?
I don't know, because that's the one that keeps emailing me about the free food you gave me and I've never redeemed. And you sent me that, like,
you asked
years ago.
me to send you that promo code. You asked me to do that. You specifically asked me to do that.
Okay, maybe I did. But I never redeemed it, and they keep on emailing me, and that's why I remember.
Oh my God.
HelloFresh. Thank you, Flocky. This is your fault.
Yes.
So I came up with a new delivery, not so much a meal delivery service, but an ingredient delivery service.
Okay.
That you can do.
Okay.
And I'll help.
How?
Picture this. Picture this. A white van shows up at your house.
Already not liking this idea.
You come out of the driver's seat wearing a trench coat, a hat, and nothing else.
What type of a hat?
Beanie?
A fedora.
Sure, we'll go with that. That people trust fedoras. So you're wearing a trench coat, a fedora, and nothing else. And you knock on the door. The person definitely opens the door.
Definitely.
Because if not, I'm putting a brick through their window.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just imagine me ringing a doorbell, someone opening up their Ring app, seeing who's there. A creepy guy with a beanie and a trench coat, no shoes, no socks, just beanie and a trench coat, and goes, I don't feel like I'm gonna get murdered today, and opens the door.
Yep, they open their door, and then you tip their hat and say, hello, ma'am. I'm Billy Sand, the meat man, and I'm here to give you meat. And then they tell you, because obviously they understand what's happening here. It's like, oh, this guy in a fedora and trench coat and nothing else, and a white van, is clearly the latest meal delivery service.
Okay.
And then they're just thinking about themselves, tonight sounds like a good night for chicken. I'm like, all right, love. And then you tip your hat again for good measure. You walk back to the van, open it up, and it's just raw meat all over the place. You get in there, you pull out some raw chicken and just hand it to her. They'll say, that'll be $4.
Okay, so first question.
Yes.
Why do I sound like Billy the Butcher from The Boys?
I've never watched The Boys, so that's a framing I don't have.
Okay, never mind. Scrap that joke.
Yeah.
Question number 2. This is going to be so confusing for podcast viewers, because they're just going to get question number 2 with no context.
Keep rolling with it, keep rolling.
Question number 2. Why am I wearing a trench coat?
It's the uniform. It's the Billy Sands the Meat Man uniform. They'll see it on TV right next to their right next to their advertisement for Appliance Direct, and they'll be watching TV and realize, oh, I've seen him on TV. The guy in the trench coat.
God.
That's Billy Sand the Meat Man. Why, yes. Why not come in? Why not come in? And they'll brush aside everything on their kitchen table, and you'll just bring out your wares. You'll put out a raw chicken on there, some raw beef.
Sorry, like you threw me off because I was totally expecting. Like I knew it wasn't. It couldn't have been a flashing joke. It was too elaborate for it to be that simple. But I was at least expecting you to open up the trench coat and have like raw chicken breast fillets like stapled onto the inside of the trench coat or something.
Actually, that's where we keep the hot dogs.
But I'm just thinking about how gross that is, because you didn't say like a refrigerated truck. You said a white van, blacked out windows.
Refrigerated at all.
You open up the van, and it's just raw chicken breasts and pork chops and ground beef, just all mixed together.
And me in there too. Me wearing my Sunday best, handing you dripping meat that's been in the van for a bit, because let's face it, we need to drive around a lot. It's like an ice cream truck for meat.
I like the idea of you on your hands and knees in a full like business suit, maybe even a tux. Let's go with tux.
Yeah, let's go with tux. Well, it's gotta be, because I'm there to pitch this to investors.
Just dripping wet with blood and meat juices, and me opening the van. The double doors on the van, you looking out and go, we're out of chicken breasts or something. Just you were like, you've been digging this entire time.
I've gone through the whole pile twice. Tell you what, and you turn to her, tip your hat again, my lady, and go, tell you what, we can give you a discount on lamb. And she at this point, she is thrilled. She is thrilled not only because she hasn't had lamb in a while, and because she's been visited by the guy from the TV, Billy Sands the Meat Man.
Oh my God.
Right next to the Appliance Direct commercials.
I don't know why my imagination's running wild on this. But I envision, after we make the deal and we shake hands, and by the way, my hands are covered with meat juices, and we go in to sign the papers and stuff, and it's just the invoice is dripping wet with like meat juices. And the pen can barely sign it because everything's wet.
You could literally stick it to the refrigerator with no magnet.
And after we do that and get rid of the formalities, I walk back to the van. I close the double doors because it's been open, letting the hot air in the entire time.
And maybe kill some of the flies before you get back in the van. That might be important.
As I shift into reverse and back out of her driveway, you, in the back, still on all fours, get washed away because it's literally like a swimming pool in there full of meat, and you are just covered in a tide of meats.
yeah, and as is my job as your Igor.
I hate this. I hate how much I like this idea.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Your job is getting you out of the ground floor. This is at the very basement of the totem pole.
Yes.
You can't get much lower than this.
Basement of the totem pole. Oh my God.
You're down working the foundations.
How do we expand this business?
Well, first of all, we need more vans. Because I don't think we're going to get much mileage out of that meat in one van. So we need the fleet of Billy Sands the Meat Man trucks.
We need the fleet of meat. We need the meat fleet.
It's a great idea.
So how many meat men are there? Because it sounds like no one wants to buy from the not meat man.
That's
They
true.
want to buy from the meat man.
So what we'll do is we will... You remember the movie Halloween with Michael Myers?
Yeah, sure.
We'll get the Halloween mask and draw your face on it. And then everyone that we send out can be Billy Sands the Meat Man.
Oh my god. I don't like that, but I like how...
You're going to make so much money on this.
I like how you didn't say, like, everyone's going to wear a mask of my face. You said, no, we're specifically going to get the mask from Halloween. And we're going to try to draw your face on it. It's not a photocopy. It's not a replica. It's not a FX mask where it's a one-to-one replica. It is just Tom with a crayon trying to replicate as close as possible.
If I'm honest, it's going to look a lot like a caricature from a Chinese takeout menu. Because I'm not confident I can get it photo accurate.
Oh, he's got the Fu Manchu and everything.
Oh yeah, and that's real hair.
From what?
We'll just cut some off your head. You have a lot of hair.
Oh, I don't like that.
And that, when they see the hair, which at this point is likely on their food,
Oh my god.
they'll know that's the Billy Sands guarantee. How did this happen? How did this happen?
If there's no hair in your meat,
Yeah.
that's a money back guarantee.
I was sitting on my lawnmower, minding my own business, mowing the lawn,
Yeah.
and suddenly the word Billy Sands Meat Man showed up in my head. And that's the full backstory of how I came up with this idea. It's not any more complicated than that. It is 100% just, I had an idea while I was mowing the lawn of those words in that order, and then the next thought I had was, Flocky should do this.
How does that thought even cross your mind? How does such a complete thought, like Billy Sands the Meat Man, pop in your head just out of nowhere?
I don't know. I don't know. I was just sitting on the again. It's like there's no more backstory. There's no more thought. And it was just I was sitting on the lawnmower and Billy Sands the Meat Man popped in my head and I was like, yep, Flocky's doing that. No matter what, Flocky's doing that. Because that's what happens. I have these ideas when I'm like in these zen states, like when I'm either mowing the lawn and just have the drone of the engine, or I'm urinating a particularly long time. and as always, you are the first person that comes to my mind. I want to tell you about my Lord of the Rings online story.
Wait, you played Lord of the Rings online?
I sure did. And, like, I guess because this is a video game podcast now, I should talk about it.
When are we doing the Maple Story special?
Oh, if I ever play it.
You don't have to. I'll just talk for 3 hours.
No, I will not edit that. I will not fucking edit that.
You don't want to listen to me talk about Maple Story 1 for 3 hours?
I might be giving you an opening to give a similar story now, after I give you my Lord of the Rings online story, because I'm pretty sure if if you have gotten as deep into MMOs as I have at the time, then you probably have a similar story.
Okay.
Maybe. I might just be weird. So anyways, I was playing Lord of the Rings online. And naturally, I made an elven chick minstrel. Okay. Because that's what you do. That's what you do. Everybody knows if you're playing an MMO, you're playing as a girl.
100% true.
100% true. It is always true. Ended up parting up with this guy who was just playing as a ranger. Flash forward less than 12 hours. I can't stress that enough. Less than 12 hours. And I'm talking to this guy about Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
And that's when he, in-game, asked if we could get together.
Fuck.
Now, I could have diffused this situation very quickly.
I know exactly where this is going.
I could have diffused the situation very quickly. But I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what is the right thing to do. In hindsight, the right thing to do was very apparent. But at the
get
time,
the fuck out of there.
I was just like, oh no. So I said, I'm not interested. And then the most surreal thing happened in my life. I was trying to talk to him in-game, which since it's a video game, you can do that. You can do that. You can send tell. You don't have to be near someone to talk to them.
Yes.
But every time I tried to get close to this person, he would run away from me in-game.
Oh my god.
And then he started sending me messages like, this is the worst because like I've never met a girl like you. And meanwhile, again, my opportunity to diffuse the situation long passed.
Long past.
That window of opportunity was closed. At no point can I own up to it now. I just have to roll with it.
God.
So then he just kept on getting really sad. He's like, you'll play with me again, right? You're just not going to run away like everyone else does. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. And we made up, and then I never played the game again.
Oh my god.
That was it. I just literally couldn't log in. I just felt bad about everything. About every decision in my life that has led to that point, I felt bad about.
It's one of those things where, like, how do I put this? This is the second time you've told me about a story of you catfishing someone.
No!
And I'm starting to see a trend here.
No! That's not it at all!
I'm starting to see a trend here.
This was not intentional! The first time was, I'll grant you.
The first time was.
This isn't AOL Instant Messenger here we're talking about. This is serious business. This is Lord of the Rings Online.
So, I don't have a similar story, but I do know when I first started playing MapleStory, I made a male character because I was a kid. Girls are gross. Whatever.
True.
But when I did finally make a female character...
And never looked back?
The game was so much easier. I'm not joking. The game was so much easier. There were so many items and things that I had to do myself. And for those of you that may not know, MapleStory is a really grindy game. You have to grind for levels, you have to grind for drops. It's just everything is a grind fest.
Oh, you were grinding for drops, all right.
I never thought that on the first day of me playing a female character, at least 2 separate people traded with me out of nowhere and just gave me free shit. I always thought it was a joke prior to that moment. And that was when, like, my third eye opened. And I was like, why the fuck haven't I been doing this since day one? And you're right. Ever since then, every single MMO I play, has been a female character.
Never look back.
Never look back.
You know what, Flocky?
What?
I feel like people who listen to this podcast and don't know us personally might think that I'm a bad friend. For example, my increased willingness to troll you in online games that we play with other people.
Gee, I wonder why they would think that.
And always pointing scrutiny at you in online games when we play with other people.
So, I have to... Since you bring this up, I am obligated to bring up an event that happened yesterday.
Yeah, it sure did.
So, yesterday, we played a match of... We played a lot of matches of Among Us.
The hot new game that all the kids are talking about.
Yeah, the one that's like a few years old and suddenly got popular out of nowhere.
It's a few years old?
Yeah, surprise.
I thought it was new.
Surprise.
What the fuck?
2017 or 18.
How? Like, I literally just found out about it when, like, every major YouTuber started playing it.
Exactly. But but the point is, yeah, what happened, Tom?
There's so many things that you could be referring to. I'm going to need you to be more specific.
Well, the main one was a certain someone was an imposter.
Was it me?
And I died.
Yeah?
And during the line of questioning, after the emergency was called, nobody suspected you.
Yep.
Until someone has said, hey, Tom is awfully quiet, and what happened?
So again, you could be referring to any number of events with the same exact outcome. But the sound you're hearing right there, the cackling that I do, that's a cross between a cartoon character and a Bond villain, just exploded out of me before I had any will or way to control it. And so I basically did an explosive laughter, and instead, with no suspicion on me, just said, yeah, I did it.
I like killing Flocky.
I like killing Flocky. It's what you do. It's what you do when you play video games. Again, these stories that you tell on this podcast are giving people the impression that I'm a bad friend. But I wanted to clear my name. And I found a HuffPost article called 7 Signs You're Being a Bad Friend. And I wanted to go through some of these
okay.
And explain how they don't fit me at all.
Okay, good luck, but okay, continue.
So on the list it says, you always manage to steer the conversation back to yourself, which, of course I don't fucking do that.
Do you not?
No, it's entirely balanced.
I'm pretty sure that...
Listen to me. This podcast is entirely balanced. Just listen to all the previous episodes that I edited to find out why. Number 2, you commit to plans already knowing you're going to back out. Which, okay, maybe there was a yesterday where I said, hey, Flocky, let's record a podcast. And then at like 10 minutes past the time when we planned on doing it, I pinged you and said, hey, Flocky, we're playing Among Us. That may have happened yesterday, but it's not a pattern.
Maybe there's an episode called Endgame was available for digital download on July 3rd that released September 30th.
Okay. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because friendship is more than podcasts.
I would tend to agree with that because most people don't have a really bad podcast.
And also there's one that says you're good at making friends but not keeping them. And that's not true for me.
Are you sure about that?
You know what? I treasure your friendship, Flocky, and I try to I harvest moon your friendship. I make sure that our friendship is solid because I send you gifts all the time.
Yeah, I don't think you understand the purpose of gifts.
It
Tom.
is to remind you that I'm here and watching.
So just for reference of a few things that I've received from Tom as a gift.
Okay.
One, a propeller hat.
It looks so cute. It would look so cute.
It is a rainbow baseball cap with a propeller on top, and it's topped with a little frog, which I will admit is adorable.
When I think of Flocky, I think of childlike innocence, and I think of propeller hat.
But I received it in the mail one day, and it was just completely baffled. And when I reached out to see if Tom bought it, his answer was, yeah, you can wear it while mowing the lawn.
It's true. How cute would that look? Little propeller twirling while mowing the lawn.
For Valentine's Day one year, I got a package. You spent extra on the Amazon gift wrap on this.
I sure
and
did.
I will never understand why. It is a book called Troll by Emma Clark. And to read the description on the Kindle store... Fuck, I don't want to do this.
Oh, you gotta. You're in too deep now.
Troll... God damn it.
Damn it. Oh, it hurts so much.
Troll is basically...
You're not gonna read it word for word, are you?
I'm just gonna read the first line that is basically the trigger warning. Troll contains graphic sexual content and captive scenarios. 21-year-old Kayla Adkins frequents the internet in search of her soulmate. While online, she meets hot and devilishly handsome Justin Brogan. Dangerous, arrogant, and quite psychotic, Justin hacks into Kayla's computer, and soon he controls everything, including her heart and her life.
So when I saw that, I thought to myself, Flocky likes the internet. You know, if I'm totally honest, if I'm just going to be completely honest with the audience, I don't remember why I sent that to Flocky. I have no fucking memory of why I sent that to Flocky. Yeah, it's a physical book to a physical address.
It is a physical book of a self-published Kindle. Definitely looks like, if you can look this up on Amazon, it's on sale right now for...
It's probably always on sale.
Like, it's $1.99 on Kindle, $5.38 for paperback. You really went all out and bought this on paperback for me.
And with a gift bag.
And with the gift bag, which practically doubles the price.
Yes, it does.
And this cover looks like a 12-year-old using Microsoft Word art to make the sexiest thing he could think of.
Oh, what a great life we live.
Yeah, I have no words. Oh yeah, there was the one time that you sent me a Christmas present 2 years too late.
Yeah, and that time I sent you a box of sticks and leaves from my yard. Now that I knew exactly what I was thinking.
Oh my god.
Which was, I'm going to send Flocky some sticks and leaves from my yard.
So, how does one even come to that idea? And how does one take that idea and actually commit to it?
The same way I came up with the idea of Bernie Sanders the Meat Man. Sitting on my lawnmower, looking around and thinking, I bet Flocky could use some of this.
Oh.
Bubble wrapped and everything.
It's your money, man.
And the last one here says, you resent your friend's happiness and success. Which, again, Flocky is doing very well in his career, which is why I came up with an idea to bring him back down to be the Meat Man. That's not me presenting his success. That's me trying to have more time with my friend Flocky.
You just want me to quit my job to be a person in a trench coat with a swimming pool of meat in his van. Thank you so much for your consideration.
It's not about where you are. It's about where I need you to be so that you can spend more time with me.
I'm the Meat Man.
Oh God, that should be. You know what? If we had the van set up like a ice cream truck, we could play that on speakers out as we drive along. Not even the full song, just me doing that on loop for like hours of your life.
Yeah, it's not even like a MIDI tone or anything like that. It is just a recording of you on the phone, plugged into an aux cable on the megaphone.
Not even using the Blue Yeti I use for recording, just me on speakerphone.
It just sounds like a...
And then loop.
All the kids run out of their houses with money in their hands. It's the Meat Man!
It's the Meat Man!
Give me some ribs!
I like the idea of the Meat Man having, whatchamacallit?
Yeah, ribsicles.
Ribsicles, but like with gumball eyes.
It's just a singular frozen rib with gumball eyes.
With gumball eyes jammed in at
Not
the
cooked.
moment. Not cooked at all.
Not cooked, not frozen. Just a raw, defrosted rib with gumballs stuck to it.
And by defrosted, I mean it defrosted on the way, because there's no refrigeration in this van.
Yeah, room temperature raw rib. Yeah, we call them boners. You little kid, you want a boner?
We are cutting out before you do that. We are cutting out way before you do that.
Who wants some boner?
I don't know where the edit point is on this outro, but it is before you said that. That is 100% for sure.